I say, not run. Don't be afraid. I will not leave you alone.
Amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation.
With an all-time great, not a generational great, an all-time great. A generational great would almost dictate that Oleksandr Usyk is just a great in the last 10, 15 years. No. Oleksandr Usyk is a great.
Oleksandr Usyk responded to Floyd Mayweather's remarks by reminding everyone that boxing is a sport of discipline and respect, not chaos. He made it clear that true fighters don't rely on running or trash talk. They prove their worth where it counts inside the ring.
Hey, listen, boxing, it's sport and the gentleman. It's not a street fight. It's a boxing. Listen, boxing. It's a boxing. Say it again.
Do you think he was being dirty during the whole fight?
I don't have idea. I have no idea.
No.
Maybe.
Boxing analysts have pointed out the stark contrast between Oleksandr Usyk and Floyd Mayweather. While Mayweather continues to carry himself with unchecked pride, Usyk remains humble and grounded, even with his impressive record. His quiet confidence and deep respect for the sport have earned admiration, proving that true greatness doesn't need to shout.
I know a lot of people are probably going to hear me say that and say, you're going too far, you're this, that. Because I've seen that straight away. As soon as Usyk did that, he's 2-time undisputed heavyweight, 1-time cruiserweight, 3-time undisputed. His resume, yes, look, at heavyweight, it's a lot of rematches, but it's the way he's doing it.
Yeah.
And he's not just, okay, he could have 10 world, Deontay Wilder has 10 world title defenses.
Yeah.
Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury are the only ones you really have any kind of weight to them. Usyk is taking on the perceived either number 1 or number 2 in these defenses.
Yeah.
Fury perceived number 1. AJ at the time 1. Dubois number 2. He's taking all right, who's the next in line? All right, I'm fighting him.
Yeah.
That's the way he's doing it.
And he's doing it in a way in which is so beautiful to watch.
Derek Chisora has openly praised Oleksandr Usyk's mindset and skill set, calling him one of the toughest opponents he's ever faced. He described Usyk as mentally strong, disciplined, and focused, a fighter who stays calm under pressure and fights with precision. Chisora even joked that beating Usyk would take someone a little crazy, highlighting just how elusive and frustrating he can be in the ring. Friendly on the outside, Usyk transforms into a focused and dangerous technician. The moment the bell rings.
And what I'm saying is this, yeah. To beat Oleksandr Usyk, you have to be mentally disturbed in your head. Yeah?
You have to be mentally disturbed.
Yeah, because you have to understand.
Or to take the fight in the first place.
Yeah, because when I saw him a couple of months ago,
yeah.
I had a coffee with him, we were just chatting. The guy lives in Ukraine.
Yep.
Yeah. He goes, oh, before I came on the plane, I was sleeping in my house, and then those missiles were going over my house, and I didn't want to go in the bunker. I was like, I'll just go to sleep. There's some craziness, isn't it? I mean, like, imagine you now, you're in your house in Barna, Timbuktu, and then missiles are going. What are you gonna be like?
Yeah, he's cut from very different stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then remember, so you have to come in there looking to go to the other side because he's looking to go to the other side. Mate, can you do us a favor? Can you stop beating us up?
Derek Chisora has drawn a bold comparison between Oleksandr Usyk and the legendary Muhammad Ali, calling Usyk the Ali of this generation. He praised Usyk's exceptional footwork, timing, and ring intelligence qualities rarely seen in a heavyweight. Chisora pointed out that Usyk doesn't rely on brute force, but rather uses finesse and strategy to dismantle his opponents. With his composure and confidence, Usyk brings a touch of Ali's grace to the modern ring. Chisora described watching him as poetry in motion, adding that Usyk has reintroduced elegance and brilliance into heavyweight boxing in a way few thought possible.
Ali once did.
Everybody gets it wrong. You don't box this guy. It's like, how can I explain it to you in a way you understand? We can't box him.
He's just too good.
He's just unbelievable great. Yeah, forget good, he's amazing. Yeah, he's great, he's amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation. You understand? We have to give him the credit where it's due. Yeah. He is that guy.
Top boxing promoter Eddie Hearn has added his voice to the growing chorus of praise for Oleksandr Usyk, calling him not just a champion but a generational talent. Hearn, who has worked with some of the sport's biggest names, described Usyk as one of the most technically gifted boxers of the modern era, his transition from cruiserweight to heavyweight without losing speed, precision, or composure has astonished fans and experts alike. Hearn's words go beyond admiration, signal just how profoundly Usyk has shifted the landscape of heavyweight boxing.
Evans.
Just, you're talking about one of the great generational. I watched the first 2 rounds, and Dubois looked really dangerous. Came out, backed him up, and then Usyk just decided, I can't allow him to back me up, so I'm going to go on the front foot and box aggressive here. And he knocked him spark out. Unbelievable. Just a true generational great.
Following another dominant victory, Oleksandr Usyk has climbed into rarefied territory. Analysts now rank him as the 4th greatest boxer of all time, an honor almost never given to an active fighter. This isn't just about wins on paper, about who he's beaten, how he's beaten them, and how consistently he's done it. Usyk's ability to conquer elite opponents across multiple weight classes, often in their own backyard, speaks volumes. At this point, placing him among boxing's all-time greats isn't an exaggeration, it's a recognition grounded in data, dominance, and legacy.
Jerry, what's yours?
Oleksandr is the 4th greatest fighter on my personal all-time list.
Wow.
It's number 4. He's only behind Ali.
Oh, on your all-time list?
All-time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Only behind Floyd, Ali, and Manny. So, I'm really high on Oleksandr.
Oleksandr Usyk isn't just a champion, he's the embodiment of technical mastery and tactical intelligence. Calm and composed outside the ring, he becomes razor-sharp and unrelenting once the bell rings. Usyk doesn't seek attention, doesn't engage in loud bravado, and never begs for the spotlight. Instead, he lets his craft do the talking, fighting with precision, humility, and purpose.
The WBO, Frank Warner very close. Joseph Parker is obviously a Queensberry fighter. So, there could be potential that they do what they did with this fight, what they did with the Dubois fight. It also means as well that, and maybe this is why, potentially it's because Riyadh season shows from November onwards, and I doubt we'll see Oleksandr Usyk in the ring this year because it's only July, but he's only fought, and I would imagine Usyk is going to be one of these 6 to 8 month type of guys. That's the way he's been over the last 2 years. So you're looking probably February next year at the earliest when he finally fights again. So for me, it's like, right, well, that will be after the Riyadh and Ring Magazine's pay-per-views end, as in they're not going to be doing pay-per-view anymore. Maybe they look at that fight and think, Usyk Parker, it's a fight that, with the greatest respect, and Oleksandr Usyk is a very big name, it maybe does need that pay-per-view wall behind it in order to facilitate the purses that they could potentially forking out for it. So maybe that's why Riyadh season won't do it. Now, the Zone obviously have not ruled out pay-per-view. They're still going to do pay-per-view.
Usyk's resume tells its own story. He's dismantled elite champions and rising contenders with equal ease. His win over Daniel Dubois, heavy-hitting powerhouse, only solidified his status. On paper, Dubois was a threat. In reality, Usyk dismantled him with calculated brilliance. Yet, through all his triumphs, Usyk has remained humble. He doesn't call himself the greatest ever. When others start to, in a sport often driven by ego, his quiet discipline is both rare and admirable.
Was sort of broken up in different directions. Even I wasn't sure, because although I believe Usyk is the fighter of the generation in this weight class, he's at an age where, overnight you sort of show up and you don't have it anymore. Ali randomly lost to Leon Spinks around this age and whatnot. So you could get where all of a sudden it's not there on the night. So. And you had
heavyweights takes 1 second, one split second, you're off.
Yeah, exactly. And you also had a very motivated Dubois to add to that second. Who's a very powerful puncher and has sort of this bully mentality when he gets you in an uncomfortable position. But Usyk, flawless performance technically. Stepping out to that weak side consistently, mixing up the jabs, making things uncomfortable for Dubois rhythm wise.
He seemed more aggressive, right? Normally, I think with some of the bigger guys, he slides to the weak side, slides to the weak side. This was different.
I think with Dubois, the psychology is kind of out of the bag in that you got to kind of bully the bully, and Dubois came out trying to bully him a little bit, so he started touching him and hitting him, and he started taking it to him because you start backing him up, you start putting him in a situation where he starts to doubt himself, and Dubois doesn't really come back from that very often. As a matter of fact,
he doesn't bend, he breaks.
In the fight, I thought he's a little bit awkward, Dubois. I don't know, but
he's one of those awkward strong guys.
Yeah,
he's just like super strong, awkward as hell.
He goes down and he takes the full count, and then he just gets up at 10 and walks across the ring right in front of Usyk, who's celebrating middle of the ring, like with his hands up in the air. Just casually walks right by Usyk's celebration as if he didn't just get counted out to 10.
Foreman Ali. Remember, he walks right to his corner.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, you could have got up. It's like,
Yeah.
you waited to 10, and then
he was a beaten man.
You waited to 10, and then not only you get up, you don't even have the presence of mind to realize, like, I'm walking right into the picture where he's celebrating.
But Paulie, he was a beaten man before the first knockdown.
What sets Usyk apart is the timelessness of his praise. This isn't just about dominating his era, he's being mentioned alongside boxing's all-time greats. Analysts, former legends, and fans alike speak his name in the same breath as the sport's immortals, becoming undisputed in multiple weight classes, beating top-tier champions at their peak, and doing it all with composure and class has cemented his legacy. Usyk's fights aren't just performances, they're master for future generations.
Tried to jab, he tried to throw that right hand, and he landed that right hand a couple of times, by the way. He got Oleksandr Usyk in the corner, and he was trying to work, but ultimately, he's in there with an all-time great. Not a generational great, an all-time great. A generational great would almost dictate that Oleksandr Usyk is just a great in the last 10, 15 years. No. Oleksandr Usyk is a great since boxing began. Since boxing began, people. Understand what we're watching here. We're not watching a generational great. We're watching an all-time great. That's what Daniel Dubois was in there with. There is a discussion in my brain right now as I'm talking to you about where Oleksandr Usyk is when it comes to the best heavyweights of all time. Like, in my head right now, I'm thinking, who beats him?
A growing conversation in boxing circles asks a bold question. Has Usyk surpassed legends like Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather in pure boxing skill? While Ali's cultural impact and Mayweather's undefeated record are undeniable, critics argue that Mayweather's peak opposition doesn't compare to the caliber Usyk faced. Unlike Floyd, who often leaned on defense and promotion, Usyk's legacy is built on pure talent, adaptability, and fearlessness in the ring.
Interesting heavyweight division, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of Usyk's performance, where he ranks on the all-time list. I know, everybody was big into their nostalgia, but remember, Soviets were not turning pro until the 90s, and I think that makes a big difference. That's another thing. Heavyweights are bigger. Lefties are more common now, and also the Soviet era of fighters did not start turning pro until the 90s. So the old days, they didn't have to deal with those guys. So a lot of things that also favor Usyk being a GOAT. But of course, man, it's hard to pick against Ali being the GOAT.
Respected trainer Ben Davison has added to the wave of recognition surrounding Usyk. Davison highlighted Usyk's rare achievement of becoming undisputed in both the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions, an elite accomplishment in boxing history. His ability to dominate across weight classes speaks to his adaptability, mental toughness, and technical brilliance. Coming from a trainer's lens, Davison's praise carries weight. It reflects a deep understanding of the sport's nuances, not just admiration.
It makes it obviously another thing for you, but
really a good time for me to talk about that sort of thing. So,
besides just how good is Oleksandr Usyk? We've seen him now come into the heavyweight division, fight Derek Chisora, fight Anthony Joshua twice, fight Tyson Fury twice, and he's the undisputed heavyweight. Well, he was until obviously the belt let go. But what do you make of him as a fighter? Just sum him up, special fighter.
Yeah, he's put himself in the mix to be. He's put himself in the mix as one of the greatest heavyweights that's ever been. So, undisputed cruiserweight, undisputed heavyweight, amazing.
Usyk's rise has been anything but easy. He never built his record by padding it with weak opponents or waiting for favorable circumstances. From day one, he chose the hard road fighting undefeated champions, walking into hostile arenas and embracing risk without hesitation. That fearless mentality has earned him unmatched respect. In an era where many fighters protect their perfect records, Usyk chose legacy over safety, and that choice is defining his greatness.